Alright, what's up YouTube? Back with another video. Reporting live from Baltimore. On my way to work, about to get this money. Today this video, sorry about the quality of the videos. First off, I'm new to this internet shit, and I'm recording off of this crappy phone, and I'm always usually recording while I'm on the move, because I have a newborn son at home. When I'm at home, I'm usually occupied with him. Then I have my girl and my stepdaughter. So the house is, and she'll have her people over. And the house is always full and loud. It's kind of hard to record in the house. So for me, it works best to record while I'm out. And part of the wreckage of my addiction is I have some DUIs I have to clear up, so luckily living in the city of Baltimore, though, there's a lot of public transport, so I take the bus, take the subway and stuff to get back and forth to work. But so in the midst of me transporting to and from work is when the best time for me to make these videos. So that's why the videos I'm moving, I'm not sitting down at one spot. I do plan on making this one room in the house, though, like my little studio, and I'm gonna get better equipment and stuff. The goal for this channel is not to blow up and get money. I mean, it is to blow up to get the message out there, to get the message to the youth, to stay out of the streets, and to avoid premature death in the streets and addiction and incarceration over stupid nonsense that's happening every day in my city. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about where I'm at in my recovery. The reason I say that, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Like, I'm not clean. I'm on methadone, and I really don't care what people say. Like, to me, I'm not in active addiction. I'm going to work. I've been working at this job for a year now. I'm taking care of my family. Stuff I was not doing when I was in the streets. And methadone is not the reason for me doing good, but it's helping me just maintain. That's why they call it maintenance assisted treatment, because maintenance is the act of doing something, like when you get to that stage and you're on that stage, you continue to do it, you're maintaining. It's like a well-oiled machine is rolling, and it's an everyday thing. I do smoke weed from time to time, and I know this video might get some backlash, but like, to me, if maintenance is keeping you alive and you're not doing hard drugs on top, because see, that's why maintenance has such a bad rap, is because so many people on the maintenance program, whether it be methadone or Suboxone, they're taking hard drugs, they're smoking crack, or they're still doing dope, or especially people on methadone, they take benzos, and the Finnegans and the clonidines, and they cocktail it. And yeah, it does get you high if you do it like that. But if you take it like you're supposed to, you can operate like a normal person. Nobody should really even be able to tell that you're on methadone if you're doing it the right way. I don't recommend it. If you can get off and live a normal life in recovery without maintenance, doing it 100% sober, I would definitely recommend that. It does suck having to rely on taking a medication every day. Luckily I've worked up to where I have a month worth of take homes, so I'm not going to the clinic every day. I go to the clinic once a month. It took me I think it took me like a year of clean urines to get up to that point to where I get like 28 bottles, which is nice, because that's the big drawback on methadone, is people having to go to the clinic every day. But if you're doing what you're supposed to, you won't have to go every day. Eventually you'll phase up to where you're getting a month worth of take homes. I remember when I first got on methadone and I was struggling really bad still, and I had to go to the clinic every day for like a year. Like the first year I was on methadone, I became a full-fledged alcoholic, and I was drinking at least a pint of vodka every day on top of my methadone. I was taking benzos with my methadone. I had got on methadone because I moved out of Baltimore. I moved down to Mississippi to get away from the how easy it is to get drugs up here. I moved down south, and it was a lot harder to get drugs, but I was clean for a year down there. And when COVID hit, I moved down in August of 2019, and then when COVID hit, I was still doing good. I had like a year clean, but that year, I was going I would wake up at 4 in the morning. I would go to the gym. Right from gym, I would go to school. I was in community college at the time. And then from community college, I would get off at 3 o'clock out of school. I would go to work. I was working part-time at Office Depot. Get off of work, and then I'd go to an AA meeting. So my days were literally completely full. And when COVID came and shut literally everything down, but it's crazy because the methadone clinic stayed open and the liquor store stayed open, which is crazy. So I stopped networking and doing everything that I needed to do that was working, that got me clean. And I started drinking, and I always, for a while I thought I had a drug problem. I'm not an alcoholic, but looking back, I've always been an alcoholic. Like, I remember the first time I got drunk, and ninth grade summer, and just feeling complete. I felt that warmth, and like feeling like, oh, this is how I'm supposed to feel. This is how everybody feels. I could go up to people, I could talk to people. It gave me that liquid courage, and I really like that, because for me, a lot of my getting high was self-medicating for mental health stuff, like anxiety and insecurities and stuff, as well as trauma. Growing up in cities like Baltimore, you're subjected to a lot of stuff, especially at a young age, especially if your parents are on drugs. Like in my case, growing up, my mother was on hard drugs, so like I was subjected to a lot of stuff at a young age that probably messed me up. And so I didn't realize it at the time, but after going through therapy and doing stuff, I've realized that, the stuff that I seen as a kid and the neglect that I felt built insecurities in me, and I always played sports, and after sports was done, when I was out of school, I started selling drugs. I was in the street heavy, and that was like I always had this like identity because I had an insecurity, and then once I found perks, it was over. I started taking perks, and then eventually it led to dope. I'm gonna do a video. I had a video, but it got deleted. I'm gonna do a video more on like the whole progression of like how I started and how I went to perks and how perks led me to dope. Because I see so many young kids that are going down the path that I went down, that are on the corner and they're taking perks and they think it's cool, but really they don't know. the perks that they're taking and the dope that they got in their pocket that they're selling, and they're looking down on people who are buying it. That perk and that dope you're selling is the same thing. It's the same class of drug. It's not the same thing at all, but they're both opiates. If you know, you know. But so, the whole point of this video was just to check in. I haven't done a video in a while. I've only got a couple videos up, and I'm trying to stay consistent with this, and just let people know that they're not alone. If you're on maintenance and you're doing good, fuck what people say. If you're taking care of business, you're not out there in the street doing crazy shit, fuck what people say. If it's working for you, it's working for you. And that's my take on maintenance, and that's what this video, the whole point was, but I'm at work now, just arriving at work, so I'm about to log out, and this video now. Stay blessed, stay free. I would appreciate a like and subscribe, but if not, it's whatever. Thanks for the view.